A calculated act to assassinate police officers. That's how investigators are now describing yesterday's deadly police ambush in Baton Rouge.
There is no doubt whatsoever that these officers were intentionally targeted and assassinated. It was a calculated act against those who work to protect this community every single day.
Investigators say they owe it to these three men to get to the bottom of what happened. These are the faces of the police officers killed in an ambush. And right now, a fourth officer is still fighting for his life. Two other officers were also wounded. They are expected to survive.
The gunman, identified as 29-year-old Gavin Long, was killed at the scene. Investigators are now confident he was the sole shooter. Long was a Marine Corps veteran from Kansas City, and he left a vast and angry online trail documenting his fury at recent police shootings of black men. We have complete coverage of this developing story. We begin with Tarek, who's walking us through the gunman's violent rampage. Tarek.
And Mary, this is a very complicated crime scene. Louisiana police told us that, and here is what they told us earlier today. Now, when the shooter comes to this location, this particular location that we have labeled number 1 here, this is the parking lot. This is the Quick Mart, and a Baton Rouge police officer was parked outside of this location. The suspect then took his car and he parked it at the corner of this building right here. So he moves from there and he comes down to this building right here. This is the beauty salon. And he walks straight towards the parked patrol car at the Quick Mart, and he sees that no one is inside. Then he goes back to his car, which we've labeled number 3. Now he drives up the highway, notices that a Baton Rouge police officer is vacuuming his car over here at a car wash. So the suspect then parks by the Fitness Expo, which we've labeled down here. He sees a deputy vacuuming has left the scene actually right there. So then the suspect goes around the corner of the building that we've labeled here number 6. Police have gotten to the scene now. There were several calls that there was a man, in fact, they quoted saying that there's a dude with a rifle. That is the call that police officers received. Officers meet he meets two Baton Rouge police officers. He shoots both of them. One of them is dead, the other is wounded, and then another deputy hides behind a dumpster, takes cover, and then runs to help the wounded officer. And that is when the shooter comes back around and shoots them. He then shoots 3 police officers in the area. Now the shooting ends in this final location up here at number 7. Finally, the SWAT team at 100 yards away shoots the shooter dead right here after 3 Baton Rouge law enforcement officers lost their lives. Tom?
Thank you, Tarek. The shooting attacks in Baton Rouge and in Dallas have police officers around the country on edge.
And law enforcement agencies in Clay, Duval, and St. Johns counties are all keeping a close eye on new developments, but they say more importantly, they're learning from these tragedies to better protect their officers. Channel 4's Heather Lee spoke with Sheriff Williams. Heather.
Well, Mary, Tom, they are, but of course, out of safety reasons, they don't want to go into specific tactics they use when it comes to responding and dealing with certain situations, but they say they are certainly aware of the angst in the country and are keeping that in mind going forward.
Somebody's really armed to the teeth.
Like literally.
Yeah, I would certainly say, well, obviously.
Have her pull out again.
Our coverage of this developing story continues on news4jax.com. There you can find a detailed timeline of the violent rampage in Baton Rouge and more on the officers who lost their lives.